Hi, okay, so this is the original response to video journal one. The first question is about like what I found interesting, and I thought that this was really cool because to me this was like a modern like version of feminism, but it was seen in like in an ancient text, and I feel like that's not really common. Is seeing this role of these women in these rituals as like a act of like revolting against men and against masculinity and the societal role that they were supposed to play. So that was really cool to me. Two values. The first one um, is religious ecstasy and freedom of expression, again, embodied by the maenads in this play. An example from the text is on page 54, I think. All frantic out of doors, they're home now, the mountain, their wits are gone. And I think that this it kind of like shows how these rituals kind of led to this state of like craziness and disorder with their freedom of expression and ecstasy, as they say. The second value is conformity and tradition, and that's definitely represented by Pentheus. He kind of is totally like a stark opposite of Dionysus in the Maenads. And he says on page 32, you want me to give in to my own woman, my slaves. And that was kind of like the traditional role that women played, was just these slaves and these unimportant figures, whereas men kind of led society. Um, yeah, and then the third question, read with the pencil. So immediately there was these words in brackets that I did not understand. It was like strophe and antistrophe and epode, and I did not know if it was like important, so I looked it up and I linked the source. But it essentially is just a structural way of breaking up ancient Greek plays. Not super important, it's just kind of like to organize it. The fourth question, the issue of diversity. So the maenads are kind of this novel role for women, and they're definitely seen starkly different between Dionysus and then Pentheus. Pentheus says in lines 271 to 274, but I hear about the disgusting things going on here in the city, women leaving home, going to silly Bacchic rituals, cavorting there in the mountain. So he definitely disapproves of these women, but to them, this is kind of like their method of expression, is these crazy rituals and orgies and getting drunk with worshiping Dionysus. And then question 5, Elvis. So I was surprised by this too, his picture on the cover, but I think it's because he kind of represents Dionysus and kind of like the power, not the power, but like women kind of like were like obsessed with him and his music, and he was kind of like this godlike figure, like Dionysus, like the king of rock and roll. And he has like the hair too, like they describe in Dionysus having. So yeah, he's kind of this like female figure. And then finally, two questions that I had is number one, is Pentheus' death seen as a tragedy or justice? And two, why was the introduction so long and revealing? Because I kind of feel like it seeded ideas in my head. Wanted to know your thoughts.